Hello everyone, Wayne here from Think Management. Here on this channel we talk about all things success. So welcome to my series on tips for beginning YouTube. Really, I'm going to go through a list of tips that I've learned since starting YouTube and being on the platform here for 6 months. The first tip I want to share with you is believing can be deceiving. You know, a lot of times one of the things that we do as far as being a creator on YouTube is we want to compare ourselves to other creators. We don't realize that the most experienced creator that's been on the platform for several years is not really a good comparison to maybe our channel that's only been there for 6 months. It's very hard unless you have two people starting two channels in the same niche and really kind of doing the same thing to really get some sort of comparison. But I will tell you this, comparing and believing that you should be doing like someone else is very deceiving. You are your own person. This is your own channel. This is your own personality just showing through on your channel itself. So when you start YouTube, don't think you have to compare yourself to anyone else. You are who you compare yourself to. In other words, only consider what you're doing. Focus on improving your game. Focus on improving each and every video. Remember, 1% better each and every time makes a tremendous difference in the long run. So the next tip I want to share with you for beginning YouTube is to know your goal. What are you trying to do with your channel? Are you trying to create income? Are you doing it for entertainment? Are you really doing it for fun? Or maybe are you doing it to help others? You know, if you're doing it for income, what are you trying to make? Are you trying to make $500 extra a month? Or maybe you're trying to make $5 million a year by building a whole legacy on YouTube and social media. Whatever you're trying to do, know that everyone starts at zero. Everyone starts at the bottom. So never think that you're gonna make it in 6 months. You're gonna make it in 6 years, whatever the case may be. Because I'll tell you right now, I'm 6 months into this process. This is roughly around video 50 to 51, and I still haven't made anything off of YouTube. Why? Because it's a grind. Why? Because it really is something that I do to help others. That's what my goal is. I want to help others and then just kind of see what happens along the way. But maybe you're doing it strictly for entertainment. Maybe you want to make funny videos. How many of us out there love watching a funny YouTube video? I love watching the ones that says, you know, you laugh, you lose, and they specifically make it funny. And when you laugh, you do lose. It's just kind of an internal game people play sometimes. But know what you're trying to do. Is it an income strategy for you? Is it helping others? Is it for entertainment? Or is it just really kind of having fun? Are you really just kind of documenting maybe your family or your children growing up and you want to share those videos with others? So know what your purpose is so that your strategy can align strictly with your purpose while you begin YouTube. So the next tip for beginners that I wish somebody would have sat me down and just told me this one tip right here is, how are you going to define success? Now, obviously, if we're talking about income, then you have an income goal. I get that. But maybe your success, you're thinking, would be for your subs, your subscribers. Maybe you want to have 500 subscribers. Maybe you want to have 1,000. Maybe you want to even jump and be big one day and have 1 million. Or maybe it's views and watch time. Maybe you say, I'd like 1,000 views this month. Or I'd like 10,000 views next month. Know that every view is strictly priceless because it's a person behind that view. So know that it could be subscribers, it could be views, it could be watch time, or maybe it's the number of videos. Maybe you just want to make 10 videos on how to improve your home for efficiency, for electrical purposes, and you want to have a do-it-yourself behind the scenes so that you can show other people your video, because maybe you've been asked several times, hey, How do you do this? Or how do you do that? Maybe that's what it is. The point here is that no matter what you're trying to do, make sure your strategy aligns next with your purpose. Very, very important, because a lot of times when you kind of get into the grind of YouTube, I'm gonna be the first one to tell you, it's not easy. It's not simple. In fact, it's so tedious that you can become lost in the nuances of what's going on. So you must stay focused, and you must truly understand that I'm here, this is my strategy, and this is what I want to do as a result. Okay, the next tip for beginners, and this is something that I learned the hard way. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. How do you measure your success? Such as, when do you measure your success? Was it monthly? Is it weekly? Is it daily? I fell victim early on looking at my channel, and I would look at it every day. I would look at the numbers every single day, and I'd be like, okay, wow, I got 30 minutes of watch time for my second video. That's pretty good. Well, you know what? After 3.5 months, I had 7 subscribers, and I'm like, is this worth it? What's going on here? I really started to realize that as more people that made videos kind of on these topics, and more people really started saying, you know, YouTube's a grind. YouTube is the long-term mindset. It's not for the short-term gain. Now, there are different tricks and things, and you know, I'm gonna say different helpful things that you can do to kind of speed up your process. Remember, one thing, for instance, you can invest in is speed, right? We all want to get to the end destination, and it's really, do you want to ride a bicycle there, or do you want to ride an airplane? That's the basic concept there. But we all want to reach that end destination, so that's very important. And know that whenever you look at your channel, I would personally recommend, when you start out, just don't worry about the analytics for a while. Give it 3 months, give it 6 months, because one of the wisest people I ever heard is on the YouTube platform, multi-million-dollar business through helping others on YouTube, and just one of the people that I look up to and one of my mentors, he said, the first 12 months, you're still figuring out what you even want to do on YouTube. The first 12 months, you really don't know what works and what doesn't work, because you're building up all your data points in the YouTube algorithm. So don't start it for 3 months and give up and thinking that it's not working. YouTube takes time. You know, of the billion people that are on social media and that are on the internet now, think about how many people come to YouTube for their problems. You know, YouTube is one of the largest search engines in the world, next to Google. Guess who owns YouTube? That's right. And so you must know that as you make your videos, and if they're helpful videos for people, that people will find them. People will understand what you're trying to do and how you're trying to help. And then it's just a natural, people will subscribe to your channel, and they will want to know what videos that you're going to make in the future, so you can help them over and over and over again. You're building a relationship with them. So the 5th tip here on YouTube tips for beginners is take an inventory of what you have. Don't think that you have to start out with the Canon M50 or really fancy camera, Sony a6400. Don't think that you have to start out fancy, because hey, we all have one of these, right? We all have a smartphone. Guess what? There's a camera on here. You can take a video on here. You can plug a microphone into here. All of a sudden, you can edit your videos on here, and you can upload them to YouTube on here. Everything you need to get started is right here, literally at the palm of our hand, right? And I've talked to several people that say, you know, I want to get a better camera before I start. I want to get better lighting before I start. I want to have better audio before I start. You know what I tell them? You have to start messy. You have to realize that you must start with what you have. So I would encourage you, when you're just starting out, take an inventory of what you have and make it work. The best camera you have is the one that you have right in front of you. So I would encourage you to take these tips, really take these tips and run with them, because they will help you along the way. And these are valuable lessons that I learned when I started YouTube. Well, down below, in case you're curious about this, I'm going to link the second video in this series. I'm going to go further in depth about the YouTube tips for beginners. We're actually going to talk about strategies for making your plan for your video. And I'm going to even give you 7 tips for success on when you're just starting out, and there's so much information. I've narrowed it down to 7 things that you can look at and just take a comparison of other videos. Such as if you're in your niche and you're studying YouTube, I'm just going to give you a precursor here. Look at the top 10 videos in your niche. Look at those top 10 videos, and the criteria is, let's watch them. Let's see how long they are, right? Just click on them. Let's see how long they are. Then let's see what the title is. Or let's see if they have music in the videos. Let's really see, is it just a talking head video, or do you really have some action shots? Let's get the basic fundamental DNA for successful videos in your niche, and I'm going to teach you how to apply that to your videos moving forward. Well, I know that probably got you hungry for more, so click down below to the second video in this series, and I look forward to spending some more time with you. I thank you for your time today. Once again, this is Wayne from Think Management, and I'll see you soon. You have a great day. So if you didn't catch my first video, I'm going to go ahead and link it up here at the top of the video so that you know where we're at along this series. Well, I want to give you just a kind of a quick review in case you're really just playing catch up. One of the things we've talked about for YouTube tips for beginners is knowing what you want to do, knowing how you want to do it, all the way to taking what you have in your hand and using that right now to make your first YouTube video. You don't need the big fancy cameras, the big fancy lighting or audio equipment to be successful on YouTube. Really, you just have to start messy and press play. But before you do that, now I'm going to share with you the second video with tips in our series. So the first thing I would like to share with you is make a schedule for what you plan to do. Such as, if you plan to make 1 video per week and that is your expectation, I would encourage you, when you first start out, if you're making videos that are say 5 to 8 minutes long, don't overcommit. Don't do so much right at first that you burn out. The thing is that so many people start this, but they don't finish it. The greatest things in life are worth the journey that it takes to get there. It will be a struggle. It will be tough, but I promise you, don't overcommit at first, because you have to learn. You have to learn each and everything to be successful on YouTube. But unless you're let's say you're hiring people to do your video editing, or you're hiring people to really just film you and then do everything else, completely different situation. But a lot of us starting out, just like myself, we're doing it all. We're doing the filming, we're doing the editing, we're doing the uploading, we're doing the promoting on social media. So all that becomes tedious, and the whole time still working a full-time job, still looking after 2 young children under 3 years old, still being a husband, still being who I'm called to be as a son, as a brother, as a nephew, and really help other people along the way. So one thing I would encourage you that I learned strictly early on is to make a schedule, such as when I first started my channel making 2 videos a week, I wanted to film on Wednesdays and Fridays. And in fact, I had my wife, when I'd say, look, I really want to film today, and if I want to start filming on Wednesdays and Fridays, so for a few hours during those days, she would take our children somewhere, just kind of go maybe run around town and maybe go get a milkshake or go get something to eat, whatever it may be, you kind of got into a routine. So that really brings me into my second point for this is when you make your schedule, make it align with what your family and or friends and or caring for other obligations are. Because if you really try to do too much in one day, you won't get it done. If you try to do a lot one day and nothing the next day and nothing the next day and then maybe pick it up for 20 minutes the next day, you're really gonna find that it's hard to maintain that momentum. So one of the things that I learned is that for 1 hour every day before my family got up for the day, I would use that as my video editing time. I would use that as promoting my videos and my work on social media, on the Instagrams, on the Facebooks, because that's what worked for me. So I would encourage you, just as you're starting out, set blocks of time, film time, preparation time, editing time, uploading time, and promoting time. Those key elements there will help you stay organized, and what you will find is that you will get better moving forward. You will understand that filming really doesn't take a lot of time now because you're more comfortable in front of the camera. Editing's a little bit faster because you actually know what's going on. Or maybe uploading, maybe that's what it is. Maybe you've helped and formed yourself templates for your description that you're uploading, and then you kind of modify it to kind of fit your video. You find what works, but use a schedule. I promise you, it will help you become successful. It will help you go further faster than you ever thought were possible. So the next aspect here is once you know your videos, I'm going to just take a step back and encourage you to do something. Find your why. Find why you want to keep doing this, because know that the struggle is real. And you've heard me say that many times, and I'm being as real with you as I possibly can, because this isn't easy. This is a full-time job in itself. For me, even doing 1 to 2 videos per week, because I understand that I have just an internal level for success that's way up here. And I realize that I want it to be good. I want it to improve to reach this level, but I had to start way down here. And I realized that I just had 1% improvement. 1% improvement. It takes time, but you have to learn to invest yourself. And there's plenty of times to where I don't feel like filming. There's plenty of times that I don't feel like researching my topic. There's plenty of times where I don't feel like doing it. But I understand that my why is my children. My why is wanting to make a difference for them. My why is to give them a much better life than what I've had. And of course, every parent's gonna say that, right? Or at least the majority will. And so you sit back and think, okay, well, what does that mean? Well, for me, it means to use this to supplement incomes coming in that can better position my children to where I can pay for their college, to where I can pay a substantial amount of down payment on their homes. Or maybe it means that when they graduate college, they're completely debt free, and I say, here, welcome to the real world, but this is one of the greatest gifts I can give you to hopefully give you a head start in life, so you really don't have to struggle and know that this is going to be tough and this is going to be tough. Because hey, we've all been there, right? When I grew up, we never done without, but we really didn't have much. We had what we needed, and I think that my mom and dad and even people that helped us along the way made us appreciate the finer things in life. That sometimes it's just that you have air conditioning. Sometimes it's just that you have food on the table. Sometimes it's just being thankful that you still have your family around you when everything's kind of rough. You've had a bad day. It's all kind of things going wrong in your personal life or your professional life, but you're thankful you have your family. And so that's my why. That is my why. That is what pushes me through, because I will tell you, you have to have something that's going to take that motivation deep down inside you so you can use it. Because must realize that you are going to have to dig deep sometimes. You are going to have to find why you do things with a passion to push forward. How many of you have ever just had to search down deep inside your heart for a reason, for a motivation, and you learn something about yourself? You learn that you can go that extra mile. You learn that you can stay on that fitness routine. You learn that you can get up in front of 200 people and speak. Or maybe you learn that you can face that conflict in a relationship with someone. Whatever you learned, you dug deep. Know that even when you begin your YouTube channel, you're gonna have to dig deep sometimes. So don't let it fool you. Don't watch all the positive videos and somebody says, you can do this, you can make $1,000 with affiliate marketing in your first month, or you can make $10,000 within 90 days. Guess what? Those videos out there, they are a dime a dozen. And some of those videos are real. But I'm gonna tell you this, if things really seem sometimes too good to be true, they usually are. So don't fall victim of the glory and the glamour and the excitement of a little bit of this. Know that it takes time, it takes energy, it takes effort, and I'm gonna be as completely real with you, it takes sacrifice. It takes you being bold and taking a step out, and many times getting out of your comfort zone and knowing that you must be called out a lot of the times to be successful and reach dreams and achieve just your ideal scenario to be successful. Don't think that it's easy. Don't think that it's easy. Now you might be like, well, wait, that's depressing. That is just bull. I'm doing this for fun. Okay, great. But if you want to sit down and make it a full-time job and want to make it your business, maybe it's a different story. Maybe it's you that you're thinking, I want to make $500 extra a month. I want to make just a little bit money to maybe pay that truck note or maybe help with that house payment every month. Okay, that's great. Know that it's still going to take sacrifice. It's still going to take lessons learned. It's still going to take energy and effort and time. So all I'm trying to do here is to just give you the realistic expectation so that you know the truth on what you're getting into. But I promise you this, it's worth it in the end. It is worth it. You learn more about yourself through your struggles than you do with your successes. So you found your why. You found your why. Your why hit hard. So now, even right before you press play, I'm going to share with you now 7 tips before you even begin your first video to get yourself competitive, to get yourself in line. So here they are. Write these down. Get you a pen and paper, replay this video, write these down. In your niche, let's say your niche is making do-it-yourself YouTube videos. Okay. Type in your niche in the search bar for YouTube. Okay. Look at the top 10 videos. All right. And these top 10 videos, I want you to make you a list and I want you to compare each and every one of these videos. You ready? Here we go. Now this is going to take a little time, but this is going to put you on the pathway for success. The first thing I want you to look at is how long is each and every video. Okay. Are some 5 minutes, some 3 minutes, maybe some are 25 minutes. Whatever it is, I want you to take your top 10. The top 10 listed through the search algorithm and see how long they are. Okay, let's say they average 7 minutes. You wouldn't think that you would need to make a video that's 42 minutes, would you? No, not unless you need to. But you wouldn't think you need to make one for 15 seconds or 2 minutes, would you? No. There's something going on here that takes 7 minutes. Maybe it takes you 2 minutes to describe what actually you're doing. Maybe that's what it is. But take that, okay? It's just a data point. It's not written in stone, but it is a data point, and it's very important, okay? So number 2, I want you to look at the videos themselves, and I want you to see what each and every video has in common? Does it have an introduction video at the front of it? Is it just headshots? Does it have action shots in it? Such as, if it's a do-it-yourself video of fixing a chair, is there a shot of a chair breaking? Is there a shot in the video of them taking bolts and physically screwing it in a leg back into the seat? Is it action shots? Is it what we would call B-roll footage? And not just someone like me right here talking to you right now. See what's in common with these videos. Why? Because what you're doing is you're finding out what the audience likes. You're finding out what is truly a successful video in your niche. Okay? So we got headshots. We've got action shots. B-roll, right? That's B-roll. We've got introduction videos. Then I want you to talk about, does it have an exit video? Does it have where multiple videos pop up at the end that you can click also to watch other topics that are related to them? Wow. Now what about, is there a specific card that shows up here kind of up at the top that says, if you like this video, check this out? Or for instance, how to do tags in your videos. See it popping up? That's what I'm talking about. And what you'll notice is that you want people to stay engaged on your videos. You really want people to just hone in and know that what you're speaking about and what you're telling them is interesting, but you want to keep them with you. That digs deep into the strategies of long-term development, is that the longer you can get someone on your channel and keep them there, the greater chance you have for success. Okay, the next thing on these videos is, do they have music? One of the things, I love Epidemic Sound. Now Epidemic Sound, I use Epidemic Sound for my video music and I just love it. I fell in love with them a few months ago and I really believe in them, and it is a paid resource. I'll be honest with you, it is a paid resource, and for me it's completely worth it. But on your videos themselves, what do you notice about the music? Do you notice that music goes all the way through the video, kind of at a low pitch, and then it might pick up and get a little bit louder, and I gotta get real soft? Do you notice any differences there? Or maybe do you notice just a music at the very beginning as well as the end? What do you see? And I guarantee you, when you look at these 10 videos, what you're doing is you're extracting the DNA of the videos. That's really what you're doing. And notice about the music itself. Okay, then in the video, is there a call to action? Such as, does the person that's in the video say, if you would like to know more, hit the link below? Or say, I produce these videos twice a week. If you'd like to become more familiar and know when I post things, send your email down below to the web address so you become on our mailing list. Call to action. Or maybe, does the person giving the video just call you to watch another video? Do they even call you to like or subscribe to the video? What is their call to action? Now, when you start making your YouTube videos, a call to action is very powerful. And I know I'm just kind of hitting the basics here, and I'm kind of just throwing you a little food. I'm throwing you an appetizer here, but I'm trying to really whet your appetite to let you know that all these aspects are important. You always want to call your audience to do something. You always want them to do something. I can't say it any differently. You want them to do something so that it helps create momentum. Okay, so the last tip here, okay, on the number 7 for extracting the DNA, is there a clear ending to the video? People are like, what is that? Do they say, thank you for watching? Do they say, we really appreciate your time today. I've enjoyed my time with you. I hope that we get to spend some more time together in the future. Is there a strategy there? Exactly, there is, because they want to say goodbye. You know, think about it, when you're on a phone call with someone and you're talking to them, you don't just say, all right, well, I'll see you there, click. No, You say, all right, well, I'll see you there. All right, it was nice talking to you. We'll catch up soon. Bye. There's always an ending. There's always an ending on a video. There's always an ending on a phone call. Don't think that there shouldn't be one on your video. I mean, it seems simple, right? But it must be a clear ending. So take these 7 aspects and just analyze the DNA in your niche. And then you will get a feel, but what you'll do is you'll start hearing different people and you'll start recognizing the different aspects of a video. They're all important. Now, and I realize this is just before you press play, but what it is it's building a structure for you to make your videos. Well, I hope you have found some value in this video. Once again, this is video 2 in our series on tips for beginners. So be on the lookout for video 3 coming. I'm really excited to share with you some tips before you really press play here on getting into tips and strategies for making sure you're successful. There are a couple of things that you can do. Just for instance, let me give you a little appetizer here to whet your appetite. Before you start, what if you told yourself, energy, energy, energy? Or what if you told yourself, energy, energy, energy? See the difference? See, you come with the smile. See, you come with energy. You come with an aspect that is very positive. It's very uplifting. Which one would work for your video? That's just a simple tip that we'll discuss here in video 3 of this series. Once again, I've enjoyed my time with you today. Be on the lookout for video 3 down below in the description. And once again, this is Wayne from Think Management, and I'll see you soon. You have a great day. Energy, energy, energy. Hello everyone, Wayne here from Think Management. Here on this channel we talk about all things success. So I let you see my energy trick. Guess what? We talked about bringing energy to your videos so that you become more engaging and that people really want to watch your videos. Well, welcome to our video series on YouTube Tips for Beginners, to where I'm going through simple tips and techniques that I've learned just in my 6 months here on YouTube that I hope that can bring you confidence and bring you aspects of success. So just to give you a quick review, we've talked about why you make your videos, and we've even got into what you use, such as your smartphone, to make your videos. Then we've even talked about analyzing the DNA of other people in your niche. So now we're almost ready to press play. So one of the tricks that I've picked up is to bring the energy. It is energy, energy, energy before I start making a video, because it gets my blood flowing. It gets me pumped up. It really gets me just excited to be here with you, because there are times where I don't feel it. There are times when you really don't want to be in front of the camera. But you must learn what can pick you up. I heard a guy say one time, you gotta fake it till you make it, and then you gotta fake it again. And so I kind of laugh at that, because that can be taken a lot of different ways. But one of the things that I've learned is that you gotta bring the energy, you gotta bring the passion. And it really helps, because you learn that it really becomes natural after a while, but it's sometimes very, very hard to do. So now you're pressing play, you're ready to go, you're ready to make that video, but you're kind of scared. You're kind of scared now, because you're like, I don't know what I'm doing. I got lighting that I don't know what to do. I got audio, I got video. I even got sound effects, and I don't even know where to even begin. Okay, I've been there. So here's what I recommend. Start messy. Start before you're ready. Start when you know that it's going to be bad, because you give yourself an area to improve on. So let me just give you an example. The first videos on my channel, pretty rough, right? I'm talking, then I really just want to be entertaining. Boring! I tell you, I'd sit back and I watch them today and I'm like, wow, that worked so bad. But yet I understand that in 6 months of being on the YouTube platform, there's a big difference. Why? Because in all your videos, one of the main tips that I can give you is always strive to get better from video to video. Now, it may be hard sometimes to go from video 1 to video 2 and be 1% better, or video 10 to video 11 and be 1% better. But what's going to happen is when you go from video 15 to video 20, you're 5% better. Or when you go from video 30 to video 50, you're 40% better. Because you have more data points, because you have more experiences, and that is going to help you along the way. So don't be worrisome that your first videos are not that good. Don't worry that maybe your lighting isn't correct. Maybe you haven't understood what 3-point lighting really is, and maybe, tip, that is something that you should research even before you start, to know that you need 3-point lighting to really kind of help cast away the shadows. Or maybe it was the reflection of different things behind you. Now, those things are all great and all, but yeah, you don't know that when you're starting out. So start messy. Don't be afraid to press play. Okay, so tip number 2 here in our video series for tips for beginners here in video 3 is you have to upload it to YouTube. But you really got to get it ready to upload. So then you got to kind of say, all right, so I need to edit it. I need to add maybe an introduction video, an exit video, and then I got to upload it to YouTube, and it's kind of tough. Okay, so one of the things that I'm going to teach you today is that your first videos, your main goal is to get it uploaded. Your main goal is to not get everything right, such as your titles or your descriptions, or maybe you really want to work on your thumbnails, or maybe it's your tags in your videos. You want to get all that right. But yet, when you first make your videos, the most important thing is to upload it. The most important thing is to go from A to Z and get it done, right? And then start improving A, and start improving B, and start improving C. So many people that I've talked to over the last 6 months stop when they're 3 months in. In fact, I know one of my buddies that was working on YouTube, he made one video. He made one video and said, you know, I really don't understand the platform. I really don't understand why this is important and that is important. And I was like, well, you could ask me and I can tell you from what I know, and I don't even know it all. I'm far from it. I'm still a newbie considered in the YouTube atmosphere. But I do know that you have to keep trying. I do know that when you wanted to ride your bicycle for the first time, you didn't ride it the first time thinking you were going to go real fast down the road. You probably fell off. You might have skid your knee. You might have really had to ride the first few times with training wheels. In fact, I'd say we probably all had to, because we needed help. So don't be afraid to seek out help. Seek channels such as this channel or such as other channels that really break down these aspects of YouTube. Because one of the things that I learned is that I wanted to get my titles right. Well, you know, you have a limited amount of characters you can use in your title. So do you want to use 20 characters or do you want to use 99 characters? Or does it make a difference if some words are capitalized and some words are all in lowercase? Or does it make a difference if you take that title and it says how to at the front of it? Or have you ever wondered this, such as, or title making? See, one of the tips and tricks that I've learned with titles is that think about your title as what people would type into the search bar for YouTube. That's a long-term pro tip for you there. But you also know that it doesn't have to use up all the characters that's allowed. But you don't know that starting out. And then you don't know about your tags, which I'll link a video up here about tags to help you in case you're curious. But maybe you don't understand what tags are or why they're important. Or maybe you don't need to use all 500. Or what's the strategy here to even come up with tags? Or maybe is there even a program like vidIQ or TubeBuddy that can help you with tax? See, these are things that I didn't know, but one of the things that I strongly encourage you is that if you don't know, I've got plenty of videos on this channel that can help you. But even if you choose to not use my videos, get help somewhere. Don't think that you must know it all, because there are plenty of people that are willing to share with you what is going on. So then maybe it's your intro that you want to add to your video, or your exit. Now I use placeit.net. Now I'll link my video up here for my tutorial on placeit.net. I love placeit.net because it's easy to use. It's one of the first ones I used when I first started, and I love it because it's simple to use. I'm gonna just tell you, the user interface is incredible. But maybe it's not for you. Maybe you decide to use Canva, or maybe you decide to use even other programs to help you. Hey, whatever works for you. I would just strongly encourage you to look at your videos. If that's what you are encouraged that you want to add to your video, then search it in YouTube. Figure out how you can do it, because there are plenty of different ways people do things on YouTube and get the same result. So it's like riding a Schwinn bike or riding another brand of bike. You're still going to ride a bike, and you're still going to get to your destination roughly around the same amount of time. So the next tip I'm going to share with you here, and we're really going to keep it short, is the 3x5 rule. This is my 3x5 rule. Okay? When you promote on social media, the goal is 3 promotions on social media, 5 new views. Now, that is my 3x5 rule, and I found that just 6 months in. Now, I know some people have very large followings on social media, and they're really far advanced from this rule. But when you're just starting out, you need to have some great expectations and some realistic expectations for what really is going to happen. So 3 promotions on social media, on Facebooks, on Instagrams, on Twitters, on Twitch, TikTok, you name it, LinkedIn. 3 promotions on average when you're just starting out bring you 5 new views. And you might be thinking, wow, that's a lot of work for that. What happens if you promote it 10 times? What happens if you promote that video 15 times? One of the greatest mistakes that I see that people don't learn from is that when you make your videos, and say you have 30 videos in your queue, and you know that really 10 of them are really good, and yeah, you might have 20 that are kind of suspect. Your first 10, let's just throw them out the window and count them as learning experiences. Well, they're all really learning experiences, but you know what I mean. They just wasn't that good, and yeah, you were still learning how to do it. Continually promote your videos even after you make them, because that will help you. People will still watch your videos. They're still on the platform. So don't forget the 3x5 rule when you're just starting out. I will tell you that it is proven, even through my channel and through some other channels, that 3 promotions on social media when you're just starting out bring you up roughly on average 5 new views. Well, I hope you found some value in today's video. I've certainly enjoyed speaking with you again today. Once again, this is video 3 in our video series on tips for beginners. Be on the lookout for video 4. One of the things on video 4 that I'm going to talk about is strategies for making your videos to get views. Such as, let me give you an example. When you're planning your videos out in advance, maybe you plan 3 or 4 videos out. Or, you know, it takes a lot of time to set up your studio, right? You got lights, you got cameras, you got audio, you got a lot of things going on. What about the strategy of filming multiple videos at once because you have it set up? What about the strategy of filming 3 videos in your video series in one day, and then editing them and scheduling them to upload at a certain time during the week? Very professional tip there. Think about efficiency. Think about maximizing your time so that you get your greatest benefit for the time well spent. Well, I hope that really whet your appetite. I really look forward to talking with you again here in this video series for tips for beginners on YouTube. Once again, this is Wayne from Think Management, and I'll see you soon. You have a great day.